Good evening, everybody. I'm Charles Duchetto. I'm the strings director here, and we have, for the first time this year, I am doing 6th grade alone in this concert. And what you're going to hear, actually, I'm going to make my way around. What you're going to hear is we've been working on something this year, which I've done a little bit of. It's the Bornoff technique, which is George Bornoff was a Russian violinist who has a whole system of teaching. It's not so well known in the string teacher world, and to be honest, I don't know where I heard about it, but it's kind of amazing. And I'm going to take you through some of the warm-ups that these guys have been doing. And I'm really kind of going slowly and building on technique and understanding, like musical literacy, understanding what we're playing and how to read it. Rather than, when you come into a school setting, often there are some people who have private lessons and other people don't. And the people who have lessons just keep going, and then if you don't have lessons, we're playing all this hard music, and there are some kids who get left in the dust. And Bornoff had a method, he called it string equity for all, and he believed you can have an orchestra of kids who do not have lessons that could really play. So we're going to start out with you guys. What are we going to show them first? Pizzicato, and what's it called? Open string cycle. So they're going to play, and the thing that's sort of ingenious about this is there are, amongst all the strings that you're seeing, some people have C, G, D, A. Those 4 strings. Other people have G, D, A, and E. So they only play those strings together. So those who don't have a C string, ooh, I got louder. Those who don't have a C string have to wait, and when the C string people are done, the E strings play on their own. So you're going to see we're going to do a pizzicato, which is plucked, open string cycle, and they play. There's a lot of stuff that goes into this. There's counting, there's making sure you know what string you're on, and there's learning how to pluck properly. So we're going to do a open string cycle pizzicato first. Here we go again. So it takes a fair amount of just understanding what string you're on, and they did 4 on each string, 3 on each string, 2 on each string, and then finally 1. So now they're going to do that, and we're going to do it with our bows. And the thing that's different about Bornoff is probably people have heard of Suzuki, and Suzuki is very, you play on just kind of 2 strings to start with, and it limits you to, you end up playing everything in D major, for you theory nerds out there. And Bornoff gets you playing on every string and using your entire bow right off the bat. So now we're going to do an open string cycle, same thing, 4, 3, 2, 1, but they're going to use their full bows all the way from the extreme frog part of the bow, the very bottom, all the way out to the tip. So guys, give me full bows, open string cycle, starting on C. that happens. It happens to all of us. And now finally, and so the thing is that you might notice, they're pretty loud, right? They're playing with a big full sound, which often, if you're just playing on 2 strings, it's a different thing. So they're learning to use that whole bow. And the other part, which I will spare you of right now, but is all these finger pattern things, which also allows them to play in a lot of different keys and not just D major, which is kind of like the beginning string, what everybody does. So really quickly, before we play music, we're going to do one other little warm-up, which is a stop staccato, which also, this is basically like string push-ups. This won't be quite as long, but you guys will do 4 downs, 1, 2, 3, and up, 2, 3, with stopping. So they're really like digging into the string and learning. When you get to the tip of the bow, it's hard to push it down, and you're using your first finger, your index finger, to get that strength. So here is a stop staccato open string cycle, starting on C. It may sound stupid, but I'm actually really proud of these guys and the work that we've done with this, because it is, from now on, I spent this summer, I spent a week, actually I got to spend a week in New Orleans at Loyola University with the woman. There's a woman who's sort of running the Bornoff Foundation, who was a student of his, and it was a bunch of amazing string teachers. So I'm really happy to have had this opportunity and to kind of be bringing it to these kids, and I think these guys are gonna be great as we go forward for this. So now we're gonna play some music, and again, these are simple songs. They're only playing 3 notes right now, so don't freak out. Yes, they are playing hot cross buns. They are playing hot cross buns on every string. So they're learning, and hot cross buns is in major, and then they're gonna play a very sad version of it, burnt cross buns, in minor, which violin means your second finger shifts from a high position to a low position, and it changes the fingering for cello and bass. But they're learning to play in major and minor, and hopefully in tune. So here is hot cross buns and burnt cross buns. We'll do them, we'll stop in between, but it won't be long. So here we go. Similar thing, different pattern, two pieces. Eau Claire de la Lune, which some of you, this is a Suzuki thing, so if any of you have been through that, you've probably heard this. And then How Dark is the Sky is the sad version of it, and today is kind of a dreary day, so it's appropriate. Here's Eau Claire de la Lune. Some of my Bornoff colleagues, I had one teacher I saw, he posted, he canceled all of his winter concerts to just purely work on technique. And as you can hear, if you have a fine-tuned ear, we're not all 100% playing in tune, because it's hard to figure this out. Like the spacing of your fingers and all that stuff, it takes a lot of work. But the other part of it is like just learning 3 notes, to be able to read those 3 notes across every string. It's a lot that we're all putting together at once. So I'm actually really energized and excited about this work, and I promise in the spring that they won't just be playing simple songs like this, that they're going to be doing more, but the hope is that they will be reading it and really understanding what they're doing. So give them a big hand for all the hard work that they've been doing. And speaking of Christmas traditions and needing to do something a little bit fun, it turns out that Linus and Lucy, one day it came to me, that's the... How many notes is that? 3 notes. So it's a perfect Bornoff song. So we're playing the Linus and Lucy Snoopy theme, and I hope you had a minute to look at the smart board or some of the artwork that students have created, but I've been really touched just to like talk to the students about it, and also to hear incredible stories, and to see we've got Mexico represented, we have India, we have Pakistan, and I said it right, I didn't say, she taught, Shyla taught, or Mina taught me to not say Pakistan, thank you. But it's been great to explore other people's, all of our various cultures and things, and one that came up a lot was holiday tradition of the Charlie Brown Christmas. So even though this isn't exactly a Christmas song, I kind of think it is. So the sixth grade is gonna finish with Linus and Lucy from Charlie Brown. Let's hear it for the sixth grade strings, guys. Take a bow. Here we go. Thank you very much. Seventh and eighth grade are going to come out shortly. You guys can head that way. And all the younger students know that they're going to come out and watch. And when it's all over, everybody's going to go have cookies from around the world. So give us 2 seconds to set up seventh and eighth grade. Gary, maybe you can give us house to half while we get set. Thank you so much. Some of these international rounds as a way to warm up, and they're pretty fun, and they're just from all over the world. So we're going to do a set of 4 of them, and let's just practice as we're, as a community here. We're going to do a set of 4, so reserve your applause until after the 4th one. So we're going to play one from, it's Scotland's Burning, clearly from the British Isles, from Scotland, Brother Martine from Latin America. And we're doing it out of order. We have an Israeli Shalom Havarim, which we will do 3rd, and then we finish with a rousing 16th century English song called Hey Ho, Nobody Home. So it's got a big ending, but in the spirit of like a 4-movement piece, we can all practice sitting on our hands and trying to not clap. If you do clap, we're not gonna get mad, but here we go. This is 4 international rounds. Oh, right, and I have to pick. We know what our groups are, right? Group 1, Group 2, Group 3. Group 3 is going first, basses, cellos second, and you guys first. So seconds, start us, bass and cello, then first. We'll do 3 times.
So this one we do, sometimes I like to mix it up, and this one we're gonna do, if your birthday is 1 to 10, you're group 1. If your birthday is 11 to 20, you're group 2, and if your birthday is 21 to 31, group 3. Hey ho, nobody home. Did it. I don't know why or how I come up with these various themes, but I do find them useful in bringing music into context for the students. And the high school students, at the beginning of the year, we watched a new documentary that came out that I would highly recommend called Going Varsity in Mariachi. It's a terrific film. You can see it, I think it was on Netflix. But we happen to have our very own Gio here. Yes, give him a hand. But I will say that part of the exploration of watching this movie was, for instance, Du Chateau, you would think is French, which it is, and depending on the year, it's French, but it's sometimes also Belgian. And what I'm wearing right now, actually, I wore it for one other, we did a world music concert, but I actually got married in this coat, and this is like Belgian lace, right? So, but I didn't grow up with like a fierce connection to my Belgian roots. My ancestors came here in the 1850s. I know the guy who came here, I know where he's buried in Wisconsin, and I find that pretty moving to see that and wonder how he chose in 1855 to get on a ship and come over here, and you know, he didn't have the internet to Google where he was going, so it was pretty scary. But when we watched this movie, we talked about the fact that there are some people who are very, you know, you're much closely tied to your country and your culture. And when I watched this movie, I had some like culture envy maybe, thinking like, I wish that I had something like mariachi that I felt like really belonged to me. And so that's been what this has been a conversation about. And there's not anything right or wrong about it. It's just understanding that we have all these amazing cultures to be admired and learned and studied. So without further ado, we have a Huevos Rancheros for you. Oh, and I think I have a piano player for this. Where is she? Oh my goodness, it's Yuri Lee. So for those who don't know, we have a few alumni in the house today, which I will mention, but Yuri graduated 2 years ago and is in the middle of her second year at Princeton as a composition major. And it occurred to me at some point this year that every concert that I've done, my wife, Mrs. D, has been here, and she's currently working in Los Angeles and couldn't be here, and I thought, what am I gonna do? So I called Yuri, and she very graciously is done with her semester, so she agreed to come and play. So this is the first time we're all playing together, and here comes Huevos Rancheros. they're getting set, you're about to hear our Saiwanoi Sinfonietta, which is our advanced group, and we now have everything from 6th grade through 12th in the group. And we're just gonna play for you, but I'm gonna tell you, Inverno, you will recognize Italy is well represented in our concert tonight for obvious reasons, and that's by the great Antonio Vivaldi. And it's basically part of Winter, which you will recognize for sure. Samuel Coleridge Taylor is a great African-American composer, and it's a dance from his African suite. And then finally, this amazing piece that I found called Ellis Island, that, can I say it's a banger? It's a banger, right, this thing? It's a great, you're gonna hear it. It's got a little bit of almost seafaring, pirate sounding, right? I guess people coming, and then in the middle it's got a beautiful section that sounds like the Titanic. So here's the amazing Saiwanoi Sinfonietta. Give him a big hand. our Siwanoy Sinfonietta. Give my hand. One more value, guys. That was by a favorite composer that we've had here for a long time, Sune Newbold, and that's actually of Swedish descent, that song. So we're going to go from Nordic climes to Japan, and you're about to see something kind of crazy. Irigami. Some people like this, some people don't like it so much, but they play their instruments all with paper, and they have to fold the paper during the piece. So this is Irigami. The other part of that is we learned if you don't put rosin on the paper, it doesn't work so much. So I've been enlisting students all day with a screwdriver to like scrape rosin off onto the paper and then rub it. But now everybody's hands are gonna be all sticky. So sorry, you guys, they get mad at me for that. So I am also the advisor for a new club, the Guitar Club. Wave, hello everybody. So this is an actual mariachi style piece. I don't know that it's actually mariachi by Jorge Vargas. Yeah, it's a traditional Mexican folk song, La Bruja. And it has a guitar part, so the Guitar Club has learned it, and you're about to hear some mariachi in Tuckahoe. Hopefully you'll hear more from them in coming concerts, etc. I'll let Adriana get back. For a Christmas time, this is by the great Gustav Holst, who also wrote The Planets. It's In the Bleak Midwinter. might have brought a tear to some of the Italian contingent out there. Yes. All right, so we're going to wrap up with the great Lin-Manuel Miranda from Moana. We all love it, but I just felt like it's kind of shameless, but How Far I'll Go. And honestly, I mean, we've all talked about lots of stories of various of your family who came here recently, and then like, I did have a moment. I searched when I was touring. I knew that my family landed in Green Bay. They came through Ellis Island in 1855, but it took a lot of searching, but I actually did find the grave of this guy, and I remember being kind of struck by thinking he lived from like 1820 to 1910. And I remember just thinking, wondering what he was thinking, why he came here, and what he would think of me, you know, some punk with a camera like taking a picture of his grave. And I hoped he'd be proud of me. So in that spirit of how far I'll go, and we're all here in this amazing community, an amazing country of lots of different people, and how awesome that is. So here is How Far I'll Go. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to our administration, the teachers. Thank you for the custodians for keeping this building running for us. And thanks to the parents who are helping out. And I look forward to seeing everybody out for a quick cookie from around the world. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night and a happy holiday.